everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, and today I am so excited because we are going to be putting to the test the Pat McGrath Foundation compared to her concealer, wearing both of them on my face all day, a minimum of 8 hours, to see which actually works better as a base. I'm intrigued because I don't know. I've never compared these two side to side. I've worn the concealer as a foundation, of course the foundation as a foundation. Swear by this foundation. She's like definitely within my top 3 favorite foundations for sure. So there's some competition going on here, and I don't know who's gonna win, but I'm so excited to find out with you today. If this is your first time here, I would love to say thank you for stopping by and taking time out of your day to spend some time with me. I'd love for you to stick around and to subscribe to my channel. I'd love to have you here. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back, for constantly supporting my channel with all of your likes and comments and love that you show me on a daily basis. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'm so appreciative of each and every one of you. So let's get into this video. So starting out with the foundation, this does come in 36 shades. We get 1.18 ounces of product, or 35 milliliters of product, and it is described as a long-wearing customizable foundation that builds from sheer to medium coverage in a wide range of universal hues that manifest the ultimate sublime skin standard. This foundation is suitable for all skin types, and like I mentioned earlier, I love this foundation. I think the coverage is beautiful. I love to wear this foundation literally as just a sheer coating over my face and I'm out the door. I love to build it up to a medium coverage and glam it up. She's just beautiful. Now, from my experience, this foundation does not do well on unmoisturized skin. And what I mean by that is if you have a really good moisturizer, then I feel like this foundation could be okay with it. But I typically will still moisturize my face, and then I'll go in with a hydrating primer to fully make sure that this foundation is happy, because she's a little bouge. Like, she likes for nicely prepped skin. The first time I tried this foundation, my skin just had my moisturizer on it, but it wasn't really a creamy one, and I felt like this was too dry on my skin. So that's why I say that. The concealer also comes in 36 shades, and it is described as a creamy, lightweight, full coverage concealer with natural radiant matte finish that brightens under the eye and hides the appearance of blemishes. So this is also suitable for all skin types. It is a creaseless type of concealer, and from my experience, everything that is described about the concealer is beautiful. It looks flawless under the eyes. It is a softer matte type of formula, but it's not going to make the under eye look really dry or crepey or anything like that, because I'm very, very particular about the concealers that I wear. I cannot have them looking dry or anything like that. I do wear the shade M19 in both the concealer and the foundation, and what's pretty neat about it is that the concealer shades were made to complement the foundation shade. So if you wear a particular shade in the foundation and you want the concealer in a shade that would match your skin, just get the same one, M19 for both. Okay, so let's go ahead and start applying these to the face. I have done full reviews on both of these foundations, or both of these products, so I will go ahead and link them so that you can go and watch them if you choose to. Now, I will tell you this, the first time I wore this foundation, I didn't really like it. So that review is not indicative of my feelings now. Love this. So I have already moisturized my skin. I went in with the Tatcha, the Liquid Silk Canvas Primer, and primed primarily just my T-zone here. So we're gonna go in with the foundation on here, and I'm just gonna apply the normal amount that I usually use with this foundation and blend it in to my skin with my Flower Beauty flat top kabuki brush. So I normally go in with a Too Faced Hangover RX primer when I'm wearing this foundation, because I like that it is a hydrating primer. But the moisturizer that I've been using lately is a little more thick. It's not like too thick, but it's a little more thick, so I felt like I didn't need that extra hydration from my primer. The Tatcha is not a hydrating primer, but it's also not overly matte either, and I've been wearing it for weeks now and love it, so I wanted to go with a primer that I'm very comfortable with. So that's why I chose that, just in case you were wondering. So this is what the foundation looks like on my skin. Love the color match of this foundation. I just love the way it makes my skin look. Like, I can go on and on and on about it. I love it. So now I'm gonna take the concealer and I'm going to just apply a generous amount onto my face. And I wiped off my brush and going in with the same brush to blend this out. Okay, so here's the concealer on my face, and then here is the foundation on my face. I'll come in a little closer so you can see everything. So we've got foundation on this side and then concealer on this side. So just looking at the two off the back, side by side, number one, color match is pretty spot on to me. I really don't see a difference in the color match of the two products, which is good. It further proves that whatever you wear in the shade for the foundation, the corresponding shade in the concealer would match your skin tone. Now, the concealer side is definitely giving me more coverage than the foundation side, and I can really tell that based on the coverage of my freckles. I feel like the freckles on this left side of my face, they're just a little bit more covered, a little bit more concealed than the foundation side. In terms of like radiance and things like that, I feel like I'm kind of getting the same amount of radiance from both sides. I feel like I'm getting about the same amount of radiance from both sides. They feel very comfortable on the skin. I will say that when I was blending out the concealer, I felt like the concealer was just a little bit more, it took a little bit more work to blend out the concealer all across my face than the foundation. And what I mean by that is the concealer wasn't moving around as fluidly as the foundation did when I was blending it out on my face. So it's not saying that the foundation was like sticking to my face, because I didn't feel like that, but I meant to say concealer, but I also feel like because this is a concealer and this is meant to stay under the eye, it further supports that it's going to provide good coverage and it's going to kind of stay in place. Because if I had let that concealer set, I do feel like it would have been really hard to move the concealer around. So it doesn't dry down extremely fast, but I do think the formula is going to allow for it to stay in place so that you're not going to have a lot of creasing, a lot of movement from the concealer. Whereas with the foundation side, it is more liquidy than the concealer. I feel like it'll move around a little easier, because it is a foundation. It is made to move around the face and things like that. I am going to take just a little bit more of the foundation and add it to this part of my face just to build up the coverage to match the concealer side. With both the foundation and the concealer, if I don't want to set them, I really don't have to set them. I have worn this foundation so many times, just putting it on my skin and literally going out the door, especially with the amount that I had applied the first time. That is like my go-to amount when I'm like, let me just throw something on my face, throw on a gloss, and get out the door. So I love that I don't have to set them, that they are products that really kind of self-set in a way, and they don't look too dewy and too excessive at the end of the day. So I am though gonna set these because I do want them to last. And typically if I'm wearing products like for a work day, I'm gonna set them, versus if I'm just kind of wearing them on the weekend and not really doing much, that's when I typically won't set them. So I am gonna set these products because that's what I would normally do. Now, something that I do wanna point out about the shades of these two products is that the concealer in the shade M19, which is this side, is going to be described as medium with red undertones. And the foundation, which is on this side, is described as medium with peach undertones. I think it's interesting that the undertones are described differently, but on the face, they essentially look the same. And I'm looking at myself in my mirror that's a little further away just to make sure. You all tell me if you notice a difference in the undertones of these two products, but I just think it's really interesting that the undertones are different based on the different products. I'm not going to do flash photography on these two products because I know that there's no flashback. I've done them in my previous videos that I've already linked for you, but I can comfortably tell you there is no flashback with these products. So I did want to put that out there, that there is none with the two products. So I'm going to go finish off my face, and then I'll come back to show you what everything is looking like on top of my face, and then we'll go about this wear test. Okay, we're back, and I have all of the makeup on my face, And I'm really liking how both sides of my face look. So remember, we've got the foundation on this side and we have the concealer on this side. So I did set my T-zone, but I didn't set this part of my face or this part of my face, simply because one, I didn't want to set it because I have on some liquid products, but then two, I also wanted to show you all how the foundation wore, or the foundation and the concealer wore, if you didn't set it. I think both sides look beautiful. I think both sides look flawless. If I'm being really honest, I think the concealer side is just a tad more flawless than the foundation, which that's what I'm noticing now. In terms of my smile line here, I do see a little bit of the concealer settling into it, but not to the point where I feel like I'm looking at it from afar, not to a point where I feel like it is exaggerating the fine line. I have a few fine lines right around here, and I don't see any settling in these fine lines, but like I've mentioned before, I do typically get settling in this fine line compared to the ones right here. So I just wanted to point out any differences just in case it's something that you're noticing on your end, and then just to be transparent. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from both sides of my face because I really do love both products. As of now, leave a comment down below letting me know which side you think will win, because I want to know your thoughts. Some of you all have already commented because I did post a question on the community board asking you all if this was a video that you wanted to see. And one person already was like, I already know which side will win. I don't want to put it out there yet, but if you're watching, then you already know which side you think is gonna win. So yeah, leave a comment down below and I will see you at the end of the day. Okay guys, we are back. It is the end of the day and I've had both of these products on my face for almost 9 hours, if not right at 9 hours. So what do we think? We have concealer on this side. I almost forgot. Concealer on this side. We have foundation on this side. And just to tell you about my day, I just came back inside and I was outside for well over 2 hours in the heat and in the sun. So first of all, let me just say, I think both of them held up really well. Actually, let me come in so you all can see stuff and then we can. So here is the foundation side and here is the concealer side. So let's start with the concealer side. So with the concealer side, I think things still look really nice and pretty. I really like how the concealer wears with my oils coming through, because I definitely was kind of sweating out there. So we've got some nice oil production going on here. With the settling of the concealer right here in this fine line, you can see that it did settle just a smidge more. So like when I look at myself from afar, I can actually see my smile line while when I'm not talking. So I do see just a slight bit more settling, but it doesn't bother me simply because I know I was outside sweating. I was eating and things like that. On the foundation side, I feel like the foundation actually looks pretty similar. I love the radiance from the dewiness of my skin. I feel like things are in place like they were. I feel like on the unset side of the concealer and the foundation, both areas still have coverage, and then even along the chin, I still see coverage around here. Of course, I always touch on my chin if that's not something that you're aware of. I literally do this all day. But I think things still look really good across my face. So in my opinion, which side held up better? I don't know. It's such a close call, but I think if I have to call it, I gotta go with the concealer side. And this is why. I think it's because the concealer side gives me just a little bit more coverage, and the coverage is slightly more flawless than the foundation side. I feel like the foundation is such a more natural looking type of foundation, especially when you don't add a lot to it. It looks really beautiful and really natural and skin-like. So I still love it. I mean, it is still one of my favorite foundations, but in terms of like flawlessness, the concealer definitely takes the cake. And if you're someone who likes more coverage from your products, from your base products, but you're also like, I'm not really big into like foundations, but I wanna find a really good concealer that I can use as a base, this one is like amazing. Another way that could help you kind of decide which one you might want to get is price. The foundation is $68. Like, she ain't cheap. The concealer is $32. We're still not cheap, but we're also saving ourselves $35. So if you're someone who's like, I can wear a concealer as a foundation and I really like the coverage and I think I want to try it, but you weren't game for the $68 price tag, I still think you're getting an amazing product in this concealer. I give both products 2 thumbs up. They are beautiful. I knew I was gonna love both sides, but I just had never compared the two to see which one actually wears a little better. And I'm going with the concealer side. So you all let me know down below which side you liked better, foundation, concealer side. Let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear them. This was actually so much fun to do. I kind of want to find some more foundations and concealers that I can kind of pair like this because this was really fun to see. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm so appreciative of it and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye guys.